Hi. Wow. Thank you. I'm really happy to be there with you and with the Sync Network team. I'm really happy to be there because I follow the work that the Sync Network team is doing since many years now, and I think they are really do awesome things. So I'm here today to deliver a message of peace and love in our LPWAN market, because I'm convinced that we are not operating in a red ocean. And this is what I will share with you in the next 15 to 20 minutes. So be back a bit on what is this notion of red ocean versus blue ocean. This has been defined by two authors. It was about a decade ago, so at the rising of the LPWAN, with no link between this, by Mr. Kim and Mr. Moborg. And how they define what is a blue ocean? They define it as an unexplored, untainted by competition, where things are vast, deep, powerful in terms of opportunity and growth. And when I think to our market, the LPWAN market, all these words are really resonating to me. Our market is really unexplored. We are making something really new thanks to the LPWAN technologies. It's not yet really untainted. It's vast. It's really deep. The opportunities are large and the growth is large. So it resonates like being a good definition for what we are doing. By opposition, there are red ocean. So in a red ocean, we have a really strong competition. Basically, the competitors are delivering the same thing, and they are really fighting each other to take market share. We have in the telecom industry a good example of a red ocean. Basically, all the telecom operators are delivering all the 4G, delivering the same kind of capabilities to the user, and so they are fighting with price and different marketing stuff. We have another example of good red ocean. It's the smartphone industry. On one side, we have iPhone, on the other side, we have Android, and basically, both of these technologies are providing something to phone. You can call your friend, you can take pictures, you can run apps, you can run the same apps on both platforms. You have the same look and feel. Wow, that's scary. And basically, the price are globally equivalent if you take a look at the quality of what you are using. And what's interesting there is, even if the technology are really similar, you see a lot of people spending a lot of time writing posts to explain what are the difference. On iPhone and Android, you have about 1 million pages written to explain the difference of some things that are really equivalent. So basically, this is not a technological question. It's more a question of religion, basically. So, where we are? Where is our LPWAN market? I could go to internet and ask this question. Are we a red ocean or are we a blue ocean? And internet is quite efficient to say that, yeah, we have a war in IoT. So guys, I don't know if you are more Sigfox, NB-IoT, LoRaWAN, but you may be in war according to this. This is some example in English, but French people are really loving to declare where there's nowhere. So when you read the press, you really think that we are in a war. And basically, it's not my opinion. So why I have a different opinion on this? Who am I? I'm Disk91. Don't blame my parents. I've chosen that name myself. My real name is Paul. I'm doing LPWAN since many years now. I've started with Sigfox. It was in 2014. And I'm part of the Sigfox Ambassador Program, which means I'm one of the tech experts recognized by Sigfox for using and talking about its technology. I started working on LoRaWAN. It was in 2015, and I'm an initiator in the Sync Network community in my city since 2017. I'm also an author of SDK, so I love doing development. And if you are running STM32 with Semtech stuff, you can use my stack. It's open source. And you can get Sigfox and LoRaWAN in the same stack and same chip. I'm also a blogger, and this is why I'm here in front of you. I'm the author of Disk91.com blog. So you can find a lot of information about LPWAN technologies. I own a podcast. And I have also a real job, in fact, 2 real jobs. At night, I'm a device maker for a company iPhone, which is Ingenious Things. So I made a different device on Sigfox and LoRaWAN. And as part of the day, I'm a CTO at a Michelin company. So I'm also working on tires. And I'm a small IoT startup inside Michelin, where we are capturing driving information. And we have a fleet of about 150,000 vehicles. And through that data, we are calculating driving scoring. So we are running on the insurance business to allow the insurance company to make how you drive insurance. So through all that experience, I have made a lot of different things and different technologies. And so my position on this technology is that we can see things differently than just saying there is a war between the technologies. Here is a framework I'm trying to make. This framework has 2 objectives. The first one is to identify the plus and minus of the different technologies. And it's also a framework to help to find the right technologies when you're in front of a business use case. So we're going to more talk about business use case than technical details. So they are large category. So one of the points is speed. That's really important. What in my business case, what kind of information do we have to transfer? Do I need to transfer video, for example? So I really need high-speed IoT. Do I need to transfer sound or update my firmware? Or do I need to have high-frequency monitoring? So it's a medium speed. Or do I just do tracking, low-frequency monitoring? And in this case, I'm more low-speed IoT. The energy part is also really important in this decision-taking. Any technology can claim that they are able to have a decade of running on battery. It's just a question of size of the battery. I mean, if you have a 1 meter cube, you can run for a decade, not a problem. So the question is, what will be the size of my battery and what will be the price, money I will put on my battery? And there we have 3 big categories again. One is I have money and size I can put on my battery. The other one is I want to have low-cost battery, like a small LiPo or a small AA battery. And the last one is I need to have harvesting. Harvesting is really interesting, but it's really reducing your TCO by having a system you do not need to maintain in terms of battery changing and so on. The third point is coverage. Coverage is also important in the deployment on my system. Is my system use case will be deployed in one place, one city, one industrial site? So in this case, it's more a city-wide use case. Will it be nationwide? Is it mobile things that move around the country or fixed things that will deploy in my country? Or is it worldwide? And in worldwide, we can have multiple country or a global solution. The fourth point is about cost of the device. I don't consider the overall cost of the device because it really depends on sensor. So I focus on the cost of the communication. In the communication, we have a MCU and we have a transceiver. Because depending on the solution I'm taking, the stack size and the MCU size will differ. So that's why I'm taking the 2 components. And we have 3 categories again. We have the medium cost. I have about $10 for this. The low cost, I'm around $3 to $5. And the ultra low cost, which is a new breakthrough in the IoT, where I have only $0.50 to make this. And the last point is about scalability. But when I talk about scalability, I don't talk about the technical scalability. I'm more talking about the density of device I'm going to deploy. So will I have 100,000 devices in one place, or will I have 100,000 devices around the world? It makes different impact on my technical choice. So related to that, it means, can I operate a private network? Do I need to go to public network? Or eventually, do I need to choose between public and private depending on where I am? So that's my framework, and we can apply this framework to a use case. I've taken a use case, but you can use any other use case. Just an example, because part of my business is doing tracker, so it was the first I have in mind when making the slide. So my use case is I want to track good, to offer a service to track good through Europe, and I want this service to cost $15 per year to my customer. So that's the definition of my use case. Any of the word is really important. If I change one of the words, potentially the solution, the technical solution I will have to select will be different. So in this example, I'm doing tracking, so I'm low speed. I don't need to have 1 point every second. I need to have 1 point every 2 hours, for example. So I'm low speed. I need to have low-cost battery because I want something which is small, because I have only $15 per year, so I need to have a not expensive device. I need to be more than nationwide, because I need to cover all the Europe, okay? And not worldwide, but more than nationwide. And the cost for my MCU plus transceiver will be around the €3 we are targeting there. And as it is all over Europe, I don't want to deploy my own network to cover this, so it's going to be public. Okay? So that's an example. Then, this framework, we can map it for the different technology available on the market. Okay? So for LoRaWAN, we won't do sound or video with LoRaWAN, you'll agree. So it's more low-speed IoT. In terms of battery, I can put what I want. There's no limitation. I can do harvesting if I want with LoRaWAN, or low-cost battery to work well. Citywide, really covering well. Nationwide, where there is a national WAN network, it can be done, not everywhere. In terms of cost, we are in a range from $3 to do this technology, and we can go to private, public, and private and public mixed. So that's the pattern. I have the pattern for the different network and different solution. So for Sigfox, there is some difference. Like you cannot go to private network, for example. In terms of nationwide, worldwide, the coverage is a bit higher, and we can go to ultra low cost. We have NB-IoT. So NB-IoT will run a larger battery. It will be more nationwide because there's not a lot of country covered. The price of devices will be a bit higher. You can go to private. Or LTE-M. So I know LTE-M is not a LPWAN, but it's really part of the IoT domain. So you can go to high speed up to video through LTE-M, but you need a strong battery to manage that, and so on. So you see that the pattern of the different networks are a bit different. And so if I apply my use case as I previously defined it earlier, you see that there is only one network that here is matching. I'm sorry, in my example, it's Sigfox. But change a word in my definition, and it's going to be LoRaWAN. Change a word, and it's going to be NB-IoT. Okay, so it's not, it's just an example. And through that example, the message I want to share is that for every use case, you will find a different matching. If we were in a direct competition between Sigfox, LoRa, NB-IoT, LTE-M, for any of the use case, all the pattern would match. And this is not the case. In most of the use cases you are going to test, you will see that only one technology will correctly fit. And when two technologies will fit, you will see that there is a big difference in terms of TCO for this technology in most of the case. So we can also summarize that in a different way by separating devices by category, where you can have high-end devices, more expensive, more powerful, allowing more data transmission. So you have NB-IoT and LTE-M, depending on speed category you want. And you have low-cost domain, where you have Sigfox and LoRaWAN, and ultra-low-cost domain, where currently only Sigfox is. In terms of deployment, also, we have different patterns. If you want to go to private, citywide, that's more LoRaWAN. Public, you have a coverage. And if you want to go worldwide, really worldwide, what I mean, being able to communicate in any country, there's no solution today. So you have to do a mix of different solutions to realize this. I've made a post this presentation comes a post I've made on my blog. So you have a link there, so you can get more detail on this analysis if you want to go further. So my message today is just to say to you, we need to be in peace. We need to work all together. You need to work with all the technology existing. Because my experience, in fact, and if I come to this message, is my experience of device maker, of IoT entrepreneur, is when you are discussing with company, industrial company, big companies. I'm part of big companies, so I know how they work. If they think that they are the winner, it means that they're going to be a winner and a loser. And when you are in a big company, you have to take decision. You don't want to be the one that selected the loser, okay? So basically, you take no decision. And that's one of the problems we have. Yesterday, the founder of LoRa technology said on stage that the development of the technology is not fast as they were expected. This is true for any technology, basically. When you are a technology creator, you think that anyone will take it immediately. The reality is different. Okay, the market has to transform and so on. But if people that have to decide think that there is a war and one of the technology and potentially the technology you are selecting will disappear, you will just wait. And we are in a period of time where industry are waiting to see what is going to happen, because every time they open a browser and see a post from the press, they see that there is a war. The problem is, as there is no war, in fact, this war will never ending. And so there will be no winner. The risk is to have everyone losing. So my message to conclude, be in peace. Promote all the technology, even if it's not the one you are loving. And by doing this, you will promote your technology and your favorite one, and you will promote the entire ecosystem, and we will all win and all make money because it's a vast, deep blue ocean where we are. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. I think you did a great job underlining that we're definitely in a blue ocean with LPWAN. By the way, great PowerPoint skills as well. We can even scan you right now, very, very valuable. Are there any questions at this point? We have time for one. No, if not, very curious off the record, but you're also a teacher at a university. How do the students pick up IoT and LoRa technology?
Yeah, sure. I'm talking about all the LP1 technology in my courses. And basically, it's interesting because lots of students are really interested by IoT stuff, domain, because it's a really large domain going from electronic to software development, front-end, mobile application. So anyone in the course finds something, some point of interest in an IoT domain.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
so in a blue ocean and a great generation next.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much, Paul Pinault.